Hello and welcome to another video and to day one. It's our first full day for our little Yorkshire staycation. It's about 7:30 in the morning and I'm very tired. I didn't sleep particularly well for a whole heap of reasons. So I thought I might as well come down and take the dog for a walk and things, so that's what I'm doing. If you don't know, my name is Faye. I do a vlog every Sunday and then I do a sort of lifestyle or chatty video every other Wednesday. I don't normally look as tired or sound as croaky, but you are literally the first people I'm talking to this morning. But yeah, if you haven't seen our travel day, I'll link that at the end, but there will also be a playlist if you fancy watching it all and you're coming to this sometime later in the year or in another year, because as I say, this is only the second video in that playlist. Right, I suppose we should go and wake the dog up. Let's see how he's doing this morning. Don't you reckon? Go and take him for a walk. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, little boy. It's very dark in here. Let's open the curtains first. Good morning, Jeff. How are you today? Hello, buddy. Hey, mate. Oh, are you super excited? You super excited? Look at that tail go. Shush. Should we go for a walk? Yeah, come on then. Let's go for a walk. So I know a lot of people don't crate their dog, but we rehomed him in a slightly weird way about 4 years ago, and he was used to sleeping in a crate, so we bought one just to get him used to everything, and then realised in our flat it's probably best to keep the crate because otherwise he'd end up on the sofa all the time rather than staying in a dog bed that we would have bought for him. But then actually it makes it super easy to come away because you take his whole bed and it's all enclosed and he's used to it and he's comfortable in it. And then if we go out, we can leave him in his crate and everyone's happy. Right, I'm gonna get my podcast ready and take you for a walk and then we'll start the day proper. So I'm back, I'm more human. It's now about 9:30. We're supposed to be leaving at about 9:30, but somebody takes a long time.
It's 9:20.
So we won't be leaving at 9:30, but we are going to make some pain au chocolat.
It's holiday, what can I say?
We've done the cinnamon rolls of these before, but never those. So we're going to give it a go. Pete can show you when he's formed said croissants.
All rolled up. They look quite small now, but we do have 3 each, so. Don't quite look like the traditional pan chocolate, but I'm sure they all taste the same. They look good though.
Back in the car, those croissants, chocolate croissants, pan au chocolats, whatever you want to call them, not quite as good as the cinnamon swirls, or whirls, or whatever they're called, in my opinion.
They're still good.
Yeah, they're alright. I'm glad we had them, because
7 out of 10.
I would have always wondered what they were like if we hadn't had them.
Maybe 7.5 out of 10. They didn't have quite the pan au chocolat look.
Well, that's because you make them.
Screw you too.
No. One of mine did, one of mine looked very professional.
One of mine did, yeah.
So yeah, we're now in the car. We're on our way to Whitby for a seaside adventure. Jeff is with us. He's currently having a snooze, as he does in the back there. I'm not sure he was quite keen on coming on an adventure. we found a walk that looks like it takes us in a circle, passing some of the sites, including...
It's quite far, it's like 5 or 6 miles, isn't it? So.
Yeah, and that includes Whitby Abbey. Which I don't know whether Whitby Abbey is famous because of Dracula, or Dracula's just set in Whitby. I've read the book, I still can't remember. I didn't particularly enjoy it, but, you know, gothic, spooky tales might make the... Is it a town, do we think, Whitby?
Yeah, sure.
Might make it kind of a cool town. Probably not, but there we go. I've never been, so...
I've not been since I was much younger. Yeah, but I remember you used to be able to bring dogs on the beach because we used to play cricket on the beach. Like just with the dog, we just kind of went chasing after the ball. Yeah.
If we can, we'll. And the weather holds out. It's a bit touch and go today. We might take Jeff on the beach.
It looks like it's one of the smaller beaches you can have dogs on now. Tate Hill, if anyone's interested, apparently on the east side you can have dogs.
There you go. We will investigate for you, potentially, if it doesn't rain. So yeah, that's today's adventure. Come along, enjoy. I see the sea.
Can you tell us a sea in North Wales?
Yeah, probably not.
There's a massive boat. Might help.
That's
It's really cool, yeah.
there's the boat. This is going to get really juddery because I'm so thinking maybe it's just the cars. But there's the sea in the boat. I think we can see Whitby Abbey.
Right now, yeah.
We're nearly there. Made it to Whitby. So I'm looking at the boat names. What do you name your boat?
Yeah, don't know.
I don't know what I'd name a boat.
Always fishing is not the one.
Yeah, Always Fishing 3 was not my fave.
The Journey, I quite like The Journey. Although I'm not sure I'd call it that though.
That one's Ishmael. No, it's Island. I've misread that completely. It's a bit windy.
Jane Elizabeth. That sounds like such a, you know, from a storybook or something.
No, well, that'd be like someone's daughter or wife or something, won't it? So that's Marina. And apologies for the wind noise. You'll get that quite a lot today because I've still not invested in a wind muff. It's next on the list. Why is there a man with a moustache in that building? Who and what is that? Curious. Can't remember if I've said. We're doing a sort of circular walk around Whitby. We just started uphill, which is why I'm already out of breath. So hopefully we can... This way, Jeff. This way. So hopefully we can see some of the sights. But, as I say, it started uphill. Around some houses. As always, Jeff is going to put me to shame. Because that's what he does. How do they get them up there? Because that is quite a lot of straw, hay, what are we calling it?
Hay bales.
Like, how does that happen? Intriguing. I'm all the way to Whitby, that famous seaside town, and we're in a field.
We'll get to the seaside. We're doing all the the touristy things.
Well, no,
this is definitely not touristy, but
no,
that's good as well.
this is
Off
just
the beaten track.
random walk that I don't even know where we're actually going to in this direction.
It seems away from the Abbey and stuff, doesn't it?
Well, I think
the Abbey's over there. You can see it.
oh yeah, the Abbey's over there.
Zoom in.
That bit over there.
The fact that we're turning right next doesn't sound.
Well, I think we're supposed to see a lighthouse, and then we've got to walk along some cliffs, and then we get to the Abbey.
Oh, just doing his business.
It's We walk through a lot of farmland. There's a nice farm just behind us that's offering their broad beans for free, which is pretty nice of them. And now we're going to head down the hill.
That's a view, isn't it?
Towards the sea. So this is where we're going next.
Lighthouse.
That's pretty cool. So we're guessing that that's the foghorn on top of that person's house. But that seems like a very weird thing to me. Apologies for the wind noise.
Doesn't face the sea, does it? The sides of the sea.
Well, I guess there's a reason for that. So I don't know what I imagine to be a foghorn, but not that. I guess because I'm thinking, you know, like parties with them when I think of foghorn. But there we go. Apparently there's a lighthouse around here too, but I don't know where that is. Little boy, Jeff, you having a good time? Come on then. Jeff is enjoying his view of the sea.
Bend down.
This is a Jeff-eyed view for you. You enjoying this, Jeff? Jeff, do you like the sea? Yeah? Should we carry on then? Because we're going to go for a 2-mile walk along it. Cool, come on then. There's a lighthouse here, by the way. We're going to get closer, but here it is. Obviously not lit, because they don't need to tell people that there's rocks nearby. What do you think it's like to be a lighthouse keeper?
Quite boring, probably.
I remember reading a children's book about it. He ate a lot of sandwiches from my memory, but I can't remember. I have hair in my mouth. I can't get it out. There we go. This is why I put my hair up today. Windy coastal walk. Fun times.
2 miles down the sea.
Yay! Jeff just tried to run into the cafe. He was desperate. Now we know why. They sell ice cream for dogs, which he liked when he went to Dog Fest. So if you are doing this walk and you're with a dog, there's a beach just there, and it looks like that allows dogs on it, and then there's a way down just sort of there within the caravan park that I think we've got to walk through now.
It's along the 2-mile walk to the coastside then.
Yeah, so when you've been walking along the coast, you'll see the little bay beach bit, and there's a couple of dogs down there, so we're doing this in August, so it looks like they're probably allowed all year long. So that's something to think about if that's something you want to do, but it does look quite a long way down, so it's a bit of a detour. So up to you really on whether you want to do it or not. We've decided against it because we're going to carry on with this walk, and then as I said, we think we found another beach that we might be able to take Jeff on, so we're going to try that one instead a little bit later on, weather permitting and rules permitting and all of that. So, but it's been nice, sea air, all of that. And before the wind starts, I'm going to go. And we made it to the Abbey. I'm hoping there's going to be a bit of like a plaque or something that I can read a bit of information, but who knows. And over there, I'm guessing that's Whitby. Quite cool really. It's a said, I don't know whether this is Dracula or not. You know, it's quite famous. So the abbey made history in 664 when the Synod of Celtic and Roman Christians reached an agreement on the date of Easter. So they agreed on Easter there, but Easter always changes, so how can they agree on a date? Anyway, it became the focal point in the landscape in the 17th century when the prominent Cholmondeley, I don't know how you say that, family bought the ruins and surrounding land after the dissolution of the monastery.
Jeff.
Oh! So many kamikaze flies, which I think I've just squished onto my face. So on further investigation, the bit that we were looking at, that was built between the, 13th and 15th century, and then when Henry VIII came along and did all the whole dissolution of the church, it became a ruin. So it's been a ruin since 1530 something.
But it's been around for 3,000 years as well.
Well, not that exact building.
No, but
the site has been around since like 664, as we said.
No, it said 3,000 years. That's before. That's it was like founded in the 7th century, but I think it said it'd been around for Vikings have been here 3,000 years or something like that.
It's just been a ruin for an awful long time, but a famous ruin at that. Now we're heading down. Apparently there's 199 steps to get back to the town, so we'll see whether we get to that. I'm reckoning it's right in front of me. It's St Mary's Church, by the way, that I'm walking alongside. I don't know what Pete's taking photos of. Yep, here comes the steps. I'm going to have to go and focus on this. The steps are not my forte. We missed the stairs. They were there. We went down the big slope like idiots. But there we go. Now I'm on some stairs. So we've got ourselves some
fish bites and chips.
Fish bites and chips from Trenches, which is by the station. And then walked down to the beach to eat it. It might be a bit cold.
Yeah, good.
But man, in this whole pandemic, I have not felt as uncomfortable as I have walking around Whitby. Granted, the streets are narrow, but my God, it's packed. Nobody moves out of the way. Nobody seems to have a care in the world about this whole pandemic.
No, we managed. I think we kept away from a lot of people, but
so I think we were okay. But we'll see. Oh look, I think we've stumbled across the dog beach.
I told you, I thought it was the one on that side of the road, yeah.
But it's fine, we can just walk across, can't we? So, right, I'm going to eat.
Means we've got to go back down that way, yeah.
Let's try a chip, shall we?
Nice and crispy. Alright, let's eat. Yeah. One more. I want to see you chew this at least 3 times, Jeff. Maybe 3. Right, you can have a 5th one. Take the last one then. Done.
This was our lunchtime view, and that is a very nasty looking cloud. So,
dodged the rain so far.
No rain. We've had a couple of spots, but nothing at the moment. Wait, there's a little boat to come past, shall we? So we abandoned plans to go to the dog beach because it absolutely chucked it down. I don't know if you can see by my jumper or Pete's t-shirt here how much it's just rained. Jeff is also a soggy doggy.
I feel like the last thing I said on the camera was we managed to dodge the rain, then it literally just completely pissed it down.
Yeah, so we're going to head back now, but we've had a lengthy day. We did our walk and all of that, so catch you when we're back. So we've been back for a little while. We've had some dinner, and I bought these foot masks because I thought, you know, we're going to be walking, so that'll be fun.
I've never heard of a foot mask in my life.
But now I don't know what I'm doing. Right, it says here to open. So What do I do to tighten this? Did it say just fold it? Use the sticky tabs to tighten and adjust.
Do you not just pull it over like that?
Fit your feet. I mean, I assume there's something in here. Yeah, there is. I can feel it on my toes. That's one. There we go. So this is a tea tree and peppermint foot mask, which is supposed to be enriched with vitamin E to help soothe and soften dry feet, leaving your feet feeling moisturised, pampered and relaxed. As my feet are manky at the moment, let's hope it does what it says on the packet. And Pete is over here just struggling to get his on.
After 6 months.
That's what I thought. And I figured he wouldn't complain about doing something on his feet, whereas if I got him to do face masks, he probably wouldn't do it. You need to pull that out further.
The cream's gone too far up, so it's because of the ankle.
But they are a little bit awkward to get on.
The cream's gone all the way at the ankle.
Oh, a nice soft ankle for you.
Yeah.
There you go. So we apparently leave these for...
Wait, sorry. Beer, man.
Oh.
Beer, man, not.
We apparently leave these for 20 minutes to help soothe our feet. And now if Pete can get it working, we're going to play some Switch on the TV.
Try and find some multiplayer games.
Yeah. If anyone has any recommendation for Switch multiplayer games, put it down in the comments. It would be helpful to know. Gonna leave you now, I think. So if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. And he will be in it. He's concentrating now, so...
Sorry.
Yeah, he'll be in the next video. Jeff! He'll be in the next video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!